Hey guys, Noriokai here, back with yet another build for you. Sorry I haven't posted in the past few days. I have not been feeling up to my best. I was kind of sick, so I took a few days, took a couple days of rest, and now I'm back and I can give you my 100%. So let's get into this. So this is what I call my Unending Ultimate build, because you're just going to get your ultimate left and right. Obviously, this is achieved through using your strike system, Viper's Bite, the Masterwork Venom Spray, because this is increasing your ultimate charge for every enemy you hit by 700%. Obviously, that's huge, and because Venom Spray has a nice AoE to it, you can get this really quickly, especially if the enemies are stacked up. Now, when you're running with this is kind of the key to the build. The strike system is the most important part. So to go over some of the inscriptions that will be really good with this, you're looking at increasing your elemental damage for this, because the increase in elemental damage can really increase the numbers, especially if you're talking about a legendary. You can get a legendary Viper's Bite in the realm of 40 to 50k for, a good AoE distance, while also, increasing that AoE spread when you have everything running. That also being said, you'll want the charges. The 200% charges on this would be huge, because you're going to be able to get your ultimate back that much quicker. Because you can honestly probably use those 3 charges, and as long as you're hitting multiple mobs with each, if you quick use those 3, you might even be able to get, if you're hitting 3-4 mobs at a time, you're looking at getting your ultimate back really, really quickly. I haven't been able to test with it yet, but the way this build has been running for me, essentially the fastest I've done is 20 seconds, the longest I've done is 90 seconds, it seems, with this build, is every time I'm getting my ultimate back. Essentially, you just want to be using Viper's Bite on as many enemies as possible, as often as possible. So that is kind of the crux of this build. And then the other things that would be nice for some of the secondaries, maybe trying to get like ultimate speed, if you can roll that on it. Like pickup radius is nice, just to be able to get that health a lot easier when you're dashing around everywhere, because it is a melee build. Getting that force just to help with the knockdown. And then, luck is always good, because who doesn't hate getting more masterworks or legendaries, So that's some of the good things that you'd kind of want to look for on Viper's Bite. But that being said, we will now go over to the assault system, of which you can use 2 different assault systems. And they kind of have different ways of how they play out. So, for starters, we'll start with Spark Dash, the Rhaenyra's Charge, the Masterwork version of Spark Dash, where whenever you defeat an enemy, it resets the cooldown of the Spark Dash. This is really, really, really nice, because it does really good burst damage. And you're also talking about having the ability to, if you see a large pack, you can immediately Spark Dash over, Venom Spray, and get that huge pack before they kind of split off and split up. So it's a really good means to get, if you see something across the room that spawned a huge amount of enemies, you can just get over there, quick Venom Spray. You'll probably kill one of them and reset your Spark Dash anyway, and then if you need to, you can use it to get out. Or you can use it to do more damage, which is always nice. So, with that being said, to look at the Spark Dash rotation that I would use for this, if you can, throw your target beacon out, as far away as possible, just so that, you can use that Spark Dash to engage, and it gives it that additional 33% damage. So when you'd Spark Dash in, you want to Venom Spray 2+ targets. Obviously, you want to maximize the amount of targets you're hitting with your Venom Spray to increase that ultimate charge. Then you will quick proc your Unending Battle, which is a simple double jump backwards, hit any mob with the shot. That should give you enough distance to proc the Unending Battle, and then you can go back in and melee until your CDs are back up. Or until your ultimate is available. Because like I said, you get to use your ultimate extremely aggressively with this build, and it's just fun flipping around everywhere and just being able to tank everything and laugh at the enemies before you as they can't kill you, and because you're just always you're pretty much always in your ultimate. It's kind of really fun. It's not, I wouldn't say this is the highest damage build, I would say it is something that's really nice to have in a group. You know, having an interceptor with the ability to have their ultimate up left and right is just really nice because you can have them, you know, essentially if your teammates go down, you can easily back off and play it safe and just use Venom Spray until your ultimate gets back up, which is nice. That being said, as for another assault system you can run with this, you can also run Serpent's Veil. This kind of changes it because the Serpent's Veil is the Venom Bomb, which will increase your acid damage if you get a melee kill, which is kind of hard to time up with your Venom Spray because you honestly would more prioritize running that Venom Spray on cooldown, but you can pair this up so you're maximizing your Venom Spray damage. If, say, you only have one mob, it might be better for you to maximize. Or if you have multiple charges, you know, you always want to keep one or, you know, two on cooldown. And just have the one available until you get the Mauler's Venom. So the essential purpose of this entire playstyle is spread acid to every mob you possibly can. And it also helps that, you know, the Venom Bomb has a very good radius for you to also hit multiple targets, which will then also proc your Way of Integration damage. So when you're looking at the rotation for this, instead of essentially having the Spark Dash in the beginning, you're having that Venom Bomb. So you want to throw in that target beacon, you want to hit as many targets with Venom Bomb as you can, and then get in there and Venom Spray as many targets as you possibly can. You know, just to obviously maximize the spread of acid, which will increase the damage for the group overall, and also because that Venom Spray, you want to maximize the number of characters you're hitting, or enemies you're hitting, so that you can increase your ultimate charge that much quicker. I would kind of always prioritize hitting as many as you can with Venom Spray. If you see mobs that might be running away, but, you know, they're in range of Venom Spray, I would prioritize Venom Spray over Venom Bomb. But if they're just spawning in and they're relatively clumped up and you know that they're not going to move, you know, throw that Venom Bomb first and then Venom Spray. Because you're essentially looking to maximize the damage with your Venom Spray as well as maximizing the amount you're hitting to get that ultimate that much quicker. Then you proc your Unending Battle with that double jump backwards. And then you're just going to melee until your CDs are back or until your ultimate is available. So that's kind of how you would go about with the Venom Bomb rotation. So that being said, to go over some of the relative inscriptions that would be good for this to kind of like look out for on both your assault systems and your weapons and your support systems. Just to be aware of anything with gear damage. You know, especially if you're running Spark Dash, because that will maximize the burst of both your Spark Dash and your Venom Spray. For when you're running Serpent's Veil, the Venom Bomb, I would kind of prioritize ultimate damage, or even elemental damage or acid damage over top of that. But you know, gear still helps it, so it's not the worst roll if you get it. So then obviously ultimate damage is really nice for this because you're going to be ulting a lot, so the more ultimate damage the better. Anything with acid or electric, if you're running Spark Dash, or elemental damage is really good for this build. Getting physical damage is nice because it'll increase your melee that you're doing. Any just overall percent damage. If you could get a nice percent damage roll on an item, that's really good. And if you want something for a little more survivability, if you get any plus shields on any of your weapons, it's really, really nice. So go over the two weapons I'm running the Unending Battle, which gives the 110% melee damage for 5 seconds when you hit at a point-blank range, which does have to be slightly further than melee range, which is where that double jump backwards is coming into play. And then this has relatively nice things with the pickup radius, which is a nice little additive. 2% damage isn't huge. I wish it was more. I have to roll more on this. The 75% shield max is nice, as well as the 7% increase in acid damage. Now, for my other weapon, I would prioritize hopefully getting this on, say, a sniper rifle for a good long-range burst whenever I need to be behind cover, or I'm trying to hit, say, a boss's weak spot. Because that would be a lot better. That being said, I have been running Papa Pump, and I've actually kind of enjoyed its playstyle. The ultimate damage is really nice that I rolled on this, getting 20% increased ultimate damage, and then the just gear 18 damage overall to the javelin is also very nice. So this is more of a stat stick than anything else, but I have noticed that in some scenarios, getting that pop-up pump with the double, getting that double stack on it for the 100% increase damage and force has actually been kind of nice, and I've kind of been enjoying it. But it doesn't help me for afar. Having a machine pistol and a shotgun does not work for, say, the last boss in Temple of Scar, when he drops down. And if you're away from him and you want to hit that weak point, it's much nicer to have a sniper rifle where you can get some of the huge hits off on him. So then, that being said, obviously support system, you're going for your target beacon. You kind of want to prioritize the mouse 4 damage. Or you can even prioritize mass 5 if you're running Spark Dash, but if you're running that Venom Spray, you want to kind of maximize that damage if you're running with the Venom Bomb. As for components, this has kind of been my standard layout for the components because it's overall really nice. Obviously, this does not maximize your damage because you could run Double Edge Inscription, but you're also taking a lot more damage and you're reducing your health by a lot. And I have just noticed that it's far riskier play when you're doing melee builds in Grandmaster 2 and definitely in 3. With this in Grandmaster 2 and 3, I've been doing very fine with survivability. So, as always, you want to run that Conductive Latest to just reduce the cooldown on your abilities, to be able to proc a lot of your other buffs much quicker. Also, because this is a melee build, you're talking about adding that 2500 increased electrical damage to the end of every 3 hits. Fortunately, this does not work with your ultimate, or at least I don't see it registering with the 3 strikes on the ultimate, because I'm assuming it's considered ultimate and not melee damage or melee hits. Though it's weird because it seems to scale with melee damage, so I don't know. I think it should add to it, but maybe that'll be patched in, or maybe I'm just not seeing it. If you know, just comment below and let me know. The other thing, Wave Resolve, this dash actually does increase your ultimate damage. So it's nice to have that. Talisman of Power, your strike system is increased by 10%, which base is really good. And then you're also talking about increasing your assault system by 50 when you use it. Really good for Spark Dash build. Alright, for the Venom Bomb, you kind of want to prioritize more with the Way of the Swift, where you're using the Venom Bomb to proc the Venom Spray. This is really nice because you're getting that 50% damage onto that Venom Spray. So if you're running Venom Bomb, this is really good. Also, just the flat damage is really nice. Wave Integration is good for the acid damage, especially if you're running a lot with it, and also the Venom Spray increase is nice. Having acid resistance is like an okay perk to it, but the main thing is just getting that gear hit streaks to 2. And increasing your damage by 35 seconds. You can keep this up relatively easy as long as you're good at positioning yourself and noticing where the majority of mobs are. And as always, you'll obviously be wanting to run the Vengeance Matrix, as this increases your damage dealt across the board by 50%. You do take 25% more damage. And then when you're on low health, you're going to increase your damage by 25, which doesn't happen all that often. I mean, it can in GM2 and 3 where you're getting low health, but most of the time you want to kind of drop back anyway and play it safe so you don't go down on your team. The next, and essentially that's kind of how everything works. With the next portion of this, I will show you gameplay of the Serpent's Veil and the Viper's Bite in Grandmaster 2 contracts. Essentially, this build, like I said, is all about keeping that ultimate available and just kind of maximizing its potential and constantly using your ultimate. And it's nice to have in your group just someone who can, if shit hits the fan and your teammates die, just have the ability to drop back and kind of go in and out of the mobs to get their ultimate back, to then, be able to res, or, if they already have it back because, they just get it back so goddamn quickly. It's really nice. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed this, and leave comments below if you have any, and enjoy the gameplay. Hey guys, so we're jumping into this Grandmaster 2 contract. I am just running with the Venom Bomb venom spray build, so essentially just maximizing the amount of acid damage I'm throwing across the group. I don't have footage of the Spark Dash gameplay, but I might post a video in itself running with that at a later time, but I can't go too long with these videos, unfortunately. So I did get them to up it a little bit, so I just wanted to give you a good sense of how this plays out. But otherwise, you know, if you have any comments or just, you know, want to come and hang out, I do, you know, play with people that, you know, hang out my channel on Twitch and so forth. So just come check me out, and otherwise, you'll have a good one.